Welcome back, everyone, to Third Street Reactions. I'm Zach.
Shane.
We're back with the Clone Wars, Season 7, Episode 1. Do you remember what happened last time on
I do.
the Clone Wars?
I do. We got what the original ending was, which came out on Netflix kind of randomly. I mean, we had Yoda's journey trying to attain eternal life. He goes on his own little quest. It was pretty cool. We have the priestesses. We also have Sidious.
Answer me this before I forget.
Yeah.
The Sith, the crystals they use, the kyber crystals they use for their lightsabers.
Yeah.
Originally, before they said, oh, they make them bleed.
Yeah.
Originally, did they just find red ones, or did they take a kyber crystal and use Sith alchemy to make it red?
There was two different ways, and I don't...
So you're saying that they found some? And...
Well, it's because there's 2 or 3 different stories from 2 or 3 different authors. They say, well, I guess they do all 2 or 3. Like,
okay.
Because there's, George didn't write that, so EU writers did,
It's just unnecessary. Why can't they just find a fucking red crystal? They made it their own, and the Jedi are like, well, can't use that, so...
I'm pretty sure they don't occur naturally, because that's also why the Jedi don't use them. I think there's a synthetic...
Well, they can't make synthetic ones, right? No one could make anything synthetic until fucking Galen Erso developed a method to make synthetic kyber crystals. That's probably new lore. I don't know what it is.
Well, like now they bleed it. But before there was some engineering that the Sith had to do.
Engineering, like alchemy.
Yeah. To make it red. But there was also some Sith who just found he needed a red one, and he got it. He dug it out of the mountain or some shit. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I think early on maybe that's what they did, and then there were probably I think legitimate questions of why can't the Jedi just use them then? They're natural.
Well, my head lore was that okay, well the Sith took it upon themselves to start using red and solely red, so they kind of drew the line.
Okay.
And I guessed that okay, they either found them or because I was discussing this with a guy at work today. Yeah. And we're debating it because I thought it was dumb that they said we're bleeding them. Yeah. And that sounds very emotional and kind of goofy. But the idea of alchemy though came up, and that was kind of a cool idea that they would use some kind of like Sith or dark side magic. Well,
I think that's essentially what they do when they bleed it. It's just I don't read it. I think I'm gonna cut this out. I think Eric told me that. Yeah. Like I don't know, but it's something to do. It's not too dissimilar to how it was done before, but I just know you don't just find a red crystal. Like that's out. No. So I don't know exactly how they do it. I also know that Palpatine just didn't have them laying around.
But I came up today, we're discussing that.
I mean, I should know. I just don't know. I need to look it up. Like there's probably like a video explaining it like much more simply than I'm.
Well, there's probably a lot of lore behind it now. A lot of investigation required. You can't just get an answer and say, oh yeah, what was that?
Yeah. But I know there is like one way to do it now. Okay. I mean, I know because Kylo Ren didn't have access to all that information. Because Snoke wasn't a Sith, really. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or he hid the fact of who he was, and so Kylo Ren with his incomplete, he's going around finding just everything he could, obsessing over dark side stuff, and then he fucked it up, and that's why his makes that noise, and that's why he's got to have like the fumes out on the side because it's like unstable.
Okay, and that's the lore behind the cross guard.
Yeah, well, but what's funny is that the cross guard was in an old EU comic from like the 80s.
Really?
Yeah, and you'll actually see him in Rebels. Filoni was like, yeah, I mean that's cool and all, but they've been around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Filoni always, he's like, I like he likes the cross guard, not as much as the original, but he said like that's
not a fan of it because I feel like you're gonna fucking cut your hand off.
Well, I mean, I know what Nick Gillen thinks of him. He didn't like him.
Yeah, why would you? To me,
well, he's like I like him, but you and Hayden, we didn't need those. We didn't need a cross guard. We were efficient where we were.
Yeah. Well, my thing too is though that if you couldn't pull those moves off. You carve your fucking back out. You cut your own hand off spinning it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you could. I mean, the things I liked about it, they didn't utilize. Like the idea that you can...
Yeah, you can block with it.
Or I know, and you could like...
fight choreography.
Yeah, like in episode 9, he did that to Rey one time. So it took 3 movies for it to happen. Well, okay, there was a part in episode 8, but that duel was a little... I liked that fight, but it wasn't a duel.
Yeah, it was just them fighting.
Yeah, they're both kicking the shit out of those the
Knights of Ren.
Yeah, the Praetorian guards. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I loved them in episode 9 when he turned good and he just looked like a healthier, nicer. He just looked better. He fought differently, and I liked that moment for him. And he didn't have his cross guard. He had think he had Anakin's saved by that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which he should have it too. Anyways, in the last episode, we had the priestesses, Yoda going on his own journey.
They were called something. I can't remember what the fuck they were called.
I think they were literally called priestesses.
Were they called priestesses?
Yeah.
Okay. I think they were.
Or they were called priestess, and then there was a few of them. I'm saying priestesses.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was good. I mean, I think I have a couple more questions about that. And Yoda, we don't see the completion of that whole journey and like how much Yoda knows and how much he has to study on his own. We just know that that's where he gets it, and then he gives it to Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan has to do a lot. And there's basically silence for 10 years until Qui-Gon comes to him at the end of the Kenobi series. Mm-hmm. And it's because he shuts himself off from all that. For a good reason. Yeah. Anyways, but we're on season 7 now. And I'm excited to see what you think.
I'm eager to see what this is all about.
Yeah, it's...
you made it out to be something that's glorious. You set my standards really high, so I'm going to be very disappointed if it's not.
Did I? I was gonna say I
No, I mean, you told me though that it was.
The animation is certainly really good. It's got to me some of the best story stuff, and then some stuff I don't care for too much. But it's because to me season 5, I think that season 4 and 5 are so good to me. I don't think anyone can argue the last few episodes of season 7 are really good. Some people think they're some of the best things ever. I don't, but they're really good. But we'll see what Zach thinks. We're gonna watch it. Make sure you watch reaction and come back for the discussion. If you want to support us, we're in the home stretch, guys. Patreon, we have a full length uncut reactions. We also have the next 4 on there.
Yeah, and all that.
Let's jump in.
Except the Randarin.
The battle for an axis. One of the Republic's largest shipyards is under attack.
The droids have overrun our main production facility. It won't be long before the Separatists take an axis, compromising our entire reserve fleet.
But Rex here has a good theory on why we keep losing. The droid army uses analytics to predict our strategy. The first time we use a tactic, it's very effective. The next, less so. The more we use a certain tactic, the less effective it becomes. The counterattacks are so specific, it's my strategy that droids know.
What do you propose?
Let Rex and me take a small squad behind enemy lines. There's a Separatist cyber center which relays all battlefield intel to their command ship.
Is there anything else?
The animation is pretty damn good.
No.
And this is actually 720p. The show is in 1080. And I'm pretty sure on...
Well, just the lighting, the characters, everything, the skin, and all this fucking great. Anakin looks like the world's better than he did. What's unfortunate is he sounds so manly in this.
Yeah,
Hayden Christensen does not.
He does not, unfortunately. But he does, like, now. Like, he's all the 20 years of smoking and getting older. He sounds really cool now.
Time to move out.
But, yeah. Especially in 2. Yeah, he's a little whiny.
Yeah.
Sometimes in war, it's hard to be the one that survives. That's what I'm worried about. Well, what do you mean? I didn't tell the generals. They might think I'm crazy. In fact, you might think I'm crazy. I think Echo's alive. Rex, I hear what you're saying, but it's just not possible. I hope you're right. But the fact is, Echo's fingerprints are all over these Separatist strategies. Rex, you have to admit what you're saying is a long shot at best, and most likely misplaced hope.
So all this stuff's pretty cool.
So why haven't I heard of this squad? Experimental Unit Clone Force 99. They call themselves the Bad Batch.
I think you're gonna like these guys.
They're good at.
The cavalry has arrived! Sergeant, good to see you again. You too, sir. This is Hunter. Sorry we're late, Commander. We were putting down an insurrection on Yavik Prime when your comm came in. Only way to kill him is with one of these! That's right. Wrecker here cut off the Queen's stinger while she was still alive.
The stinger of a Yalbek queen is a delicacy on some planets.
They call him Tech. Yeah, he can fill your head with useless info for hours. What kind of suicide mission do you have for us this time?
We'll
breach you all
Snake.
Yeah, I mean he's yeah. I mean they kind of just don't have a Leonardo. I mean, Hunter's the leader, but he doesn't too much remind me of Leo. You know what I mean?
Snake, Rambo, Billy from Predator.
That's definitely what they're going for.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
We don't usually work with regs.
Regs?
He's talking about regular clones.
All on the same team, so cut the attitude and listen up. Our target is this cyber center. It's strictly a retrieval operation.
Enemy gunship approaching your location.
Incoming fire! We're going down!
Wouldn't do that in the first few seasons.
We always get shot down when we travel with Regs. Cody! He's trapped! We have to do something. I'll get him.
Easy, Captain.
Rekka,
Get him out.
this is ridiculous. He's gonna need help to get Cody out of there.
So he's engineered to be strong. And he's like 20 times stronger than regular clone or something.
Wasn't anticipating any of the super strength.
He has internal damage. I can cut the pain, but he needs help fast.
That blast gave away our position.
Huh. Although getting shot down gave away our position.
Everyone, find cover.
We prefer going to them. Bad Batch, Plan 82, Shockwave. Let's get to work.
But now that the idea that they can just engineer different, like mess with the genome to create different attributes, it's kind of like a no-brainer now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, you could have done that shit in season 2 and done like really different things. But yeah.
Spider droids, head out. Any more? Come on!
That was some show you put on just now. Just doing our job, Captain.
Hey, look, Crosshair. This little clanker likes you.
We wanted to speak to you directly, sir.
That motherfucker.
Infiltration.
Motherfucker won't die.
Were there Jedi with this squad?
What's his name? Like, oh no, that's not him. That's in Fat and the Moidian.
Yeah, no, this is...
They're on foot now in the middle of nowhere. Sweep the area, locate these clones, and notify me if the incursion escalates.
What's so special about Hunter? He can put up with the other 3.
He was engineered with heightened senses. A place like the Cyber Center, Hunter can feel the electromagnetic frequencies from anywhere on the planet.
Hang in there, Cody.
Hang on to episode 3.
We have to move out.
Commander Cody's in no position to move.
Already called an evac. I'm in charge now. And I've got a plan to get into that cyber center.
Fellas, come on. We're all fighting for the same thing, right? We'll do it your way, Captain. For Commander Cody.
He's like really big, isn't he?
Fuck yeah, he is.
I still don't understand why
Just
anyone would
imagine
have
Turin
like a
Morrison.
receding hairline though.
Yeah, no.
Like
Imagine Turin Morrison watching this. Wow, what if I was taller?
bigger.
Yeah.
Take it. I was thinking we'd take a page from your book. Rush them head on. I like your style.
Just the lighting.
Yeah.
The fucking lighting and the coloring and the textures.
It's a lot better.
Yeah, it's hell of a lot better.
Hey, you're not authorized.
I love Hunter, but you know, bringing a knife to a gunfight all the time,
Yeah.
you better be really good.
Is it over already? Oh, man!
Not bad. For a rig.
Come on, Rex, smile.
There it is. The Cyber Center.
A whole platoon of droids is headed this way.
Someone's noticed our handiwork back at the crash site.
Yeah, we've got to move swiftly.
We'll grab some speeder bikes and flank them from the back.
That's cool. It's really loud though.
You know what's going on? Maybe it's another train.
Is everyone in position? Affirmative. Affirmative.
We tracked the clone strike team here. They seem to have captured this location and deserted it. Their target will be the nearby cyber center. They must know about the algorithm. Get me in contact with the cyber center at once.
This is a delicate operation.
You could have shot.
Yeah.
Why you gotta go out like that?
Get to work on these computers. We'll go get the rigs.
Hey, where did you come from?
And the Jedi Fallen Order games, which I think you'd really love those.
So I've been told.
All these
I'm in.
freaking
What am I looking for?
gangs and stuff, like they've reprogrammed those things, so they're all, they use them, they got graffiti with them, and they're all battle damaged, and they'll just, it's pretty cool. So you have to fight a lot of droids, and like the B1s will be talking, you're like, no wonder these guys lost the war.
A live signal?
Crosshair, we're gonna need a lift.
Not gonna be a problem.
Patch me in. I want to hear it.
What is that? That sounds almost human.
We gotta go now.
Motherfucker's walking right in front of you.
Yeah.
Find out who is sending that signal. Ask who that is.
CT-1409.
I don't believe it.
Rex, let's go. Rex, now!
We have chased the clones out of the center, sir. They are retreating back toward Republic lines.
Did they download anything from the central computer?
There seems to be no intel missing, but there appears to have been a connection made with Skako Minor.
What?
That number, Cap. What did it mean? CT-1409. That was Echo's number. He's alive.
Zachary, first episode, season 7. What do you think, man?
I liked it a lot. The animation was a lot better. The scenes were significantly better. The shots, textures, the colors.
Everything about the production is like 10 times
Everything was
better.
better. Yeah.
How'd you feel about the story, kind of like focusing on clones a little bit? You didn't really see much of the Jedi.
I was fine with it because a lot of Star Wars has overrun with, well, these guys have lightsabers in the Force. These guys have lightsabers in the Force too. So it's kind of cool to see. Yeah, kind of like it's been mentioned by you and another person I know with
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, that game. That like Saul was in the first one, and there's like, it kind of
Saul's in the second one too, I think.
He's in the second one.
Pretty sure. I just beat it.
You're the only person I know that's played it. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in the second one as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
he's definitely talked about.
Yeah, because that kind of shit's cool.
Yeah.
To me, like the commandos and that side of it, Andor.
Yeah.
And the espionage and the clandestine operations and shit, and like everything that has to happen for those guys that are out there swashbuckling to look good.
Yeah.
You know, like all other shit has to happen. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars more than any property, like it fulfills like the young person in me who needs some adventure and hope, and it also fulfills the adult in me.
See, I'm the opposite. I feel like the kid in me has died, and it's all there, and it's like, okay, but I've contended before that Star Wars has been kept in kind of arrested development.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, this is always for kids. Okay. So you're telling me this franchise can never grow or evolve. I feel the same way with Godzilla. Like, I went and saw the new Godzilla movie last weekend.
Yeah, I heard it was really good.
It was okay. I mean, it was a good movie.
Well, the Japs are like loving it.
Well, they're allowed to love it. I mean, it's their thing. But to me, Shin Godzilla was so much better.
Okay. Because
the story evolved. The focus points, like, originally Godzilla, the 50s.
Yeah.
It was about the nukes that we dropped.
Yeah.
And the devastation on Japan and everything else. Well, Shin Godzilla was about the Fukushima disaster, the tsunami, and all that shit, and like the nuclear fallout from those I think they're power plants, weren't they?
Yeah.
So it focused on that, and again, it kind of critiqued the government's response to that because they didn't have a fucking plan in place, and they were scrambling to figure out what's going on. It was kind of cool to have all that hard science fiction meets kind of reality of all the bureaucratic red tape they're trying to jump through to stop this thing from happening. The monster had evolved and looked cooler and badass. And,
look cooler?
Yeah, and Shin.
You didn't think it looked very cool in...
-1, it's just the same old Godzilla. It's like,
okay,
we got a Jurassic Park style Godzilla. He's running around, stomping on people, swinging his tail. There was some really cool graphics. There were cool scenes, and it was a good movie. I'm not saying it was a bad movie. I'm just saying it's just another Godzilla movie.
You like it when they tie in political ramifications.
Well, I like it that the story evolved into that. Like they took it from just Godzilla's destroying the town. Yeah, what are we gonna do? And they took that, and it's still in there. Yeah, but also there's so much more to it, and they're trying to figure out how it's doing it, why it's doing it, how it can even be possible that it's here.
I didn't know that the Kurt Russell thing was in the same universe as the movies that we have in America at HBO.
The Kurt Russell thing.
The Kurt Russell Apple series.
There's
a Godzilla series with Kurt Russell, and his son plays his son who was in the new Captain.
On HBO?
That's on Apple.
Fucking Apple.
Well,
I do know that Monarch's on there, so that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's the same universe, and his son plays a young version of him. It takes place over like a 30-year period. Yeah. And I heard, because Apple keeps making like really good stuff, and I've heard that like 10-episode series is like one of the best non-Japanese Godzillas.
It's the thing. I'm not saying, like I said, -1 wasn't a bad movie. Yeah. It's just, to me, it was like, okay, I saw another Godzilla movie. Yeah. Like, nothing really evolved there, and I feel the same way with Star Wars.
If someone never saw a Godzilla, would it be a good first movie for them?
I would think it would kind of get the same message across.
-1, I meant. Like, would that be a good entry point, you think, as like a Godzilla?
Yeah, because I feel like they made that movie to appeal to a broader audience. Because Shin Godzilla, I will admit, if you're not Japanese or don't follow what happened over there and kind of know what's going on, I had the benefit of somebody that we know watching it with me the first time I saw it and kind of explaining some of those points. So that benefited me. It is not going to benefit everybody. So I have to say that -1 is a better film for a broader audience. Okay. But it's just Godzilla stomping people, eating people, doing his thing.
He's eating people?
Well, he bites them and throws them.
Oh, okay. So, to me, his little arms?
He doesn't use his arm. He bites them and throws them with his mouth.
I'll tell you.
No.
That could be really funny to see.
But but Star Wars to me has kind of always been the same way. It's just okay. It's never like
let me clarify.
I've matured.
Well, let me clarify what started this. Is like I think it does a good job of appealing to the young person in me and the older person, like Andor and some of the mature moments from out of the numbered trilogies. Even Solo and Rogue One, to a degree, the same thing.
I think Rogue One was definitely up there. Andor's my favorite, and then probably Rogue One. I think Rogue One still had some really kiddish moments in it. Yeah. But as a broad, just the overall movie, it was definitely leans towards the mature side.
Yeah, so it does a good job of lighting, I think, that fire in both sides of me that creatively wants to be fulfilled from both those angles.
Yeah, so I have to say with those two examples, it's just they're not predominant.
Oh, no.
By and large, it's okay, this is for young adults and kids. Yeah.
Well, we need more people our age to watch them. Like Andor, it was one of the worst performing ones. So we have, I know you watched it. I watched it.
This is a damn shame to me because that's good television.
Yeah, it is. And you don't need to be a Star Wars fan. Like I think you don't. We need people who are older. As long as
you're a science fiction fan, just watch that. And that's all you need, because you don't have a bunch of fucking guys running around with laser swords and force choking people. It's just, spies with laser guns.
Yeah. In this, like, we didn't have, obviously we had Anakin and I was at Samuel Jackson. Mace Windu in the beginning. They look great for sure. But it focused on Clone Force 99. Did you have like a favorite out of them? I know this one.
Probably Hunter.
I like Hunter.
Like Wrecker's, he looks cool, but he's dumb.
He's a little much. And, I know there's a show called The Bad Batch, and I think they kind of perfect.
And Crosshair and Tech, they're all right. Crosshair looks cool.
Yeah, like
not when he has his helmet off.
I think they nail in the writing, like their personalities even more in that show. Yeah. This is kind of like an entry, like a backdoor pilot is what it's called. Mm-hmm. So you get introduced to the characters, and then they do a spinoff show. And I think that actually the adult in you, like some of that stuff you like about Andor and the Rogue One, you're going to see like a handful, not a lot, in that series that I think you're going to love. Okay. Yeah, I think to me, I'm always like Ninja Turtles is my first and probably biggest love, and I feel like every time I see The Bad Batch or something like that, I'm always thinking the Ninja Turtles, because I think they hit all those different parts. Yeah, I mean, they got the funny guy, they got the guy with anger problems, they got the genius dude, they got like the leader, the virtuous, honorable one, and I think they kind of try to do that here because it's a good model.
Yeah, because he's the leader's the balanced individual. Yeah, and Wrecker's all muscle, no brains. Yeah, and Crosshair's he's mean-spirited.
Yeah, Wrecker's kind of like Mike, but Mike obviously isn't the big dude. you know what I mean?
And Tech is just He's the nerd.
He's the nerd, and I just remembered something about that show that's like really good too.
I know Tarkin's in it.
I think you would like the scene. That's all. I don't want to hype it up. I think you would like the scene. So
that he's in.
I think you would like it a lot.
That he's in.
Yes.
Okay.
But anyways, it's a long talk. We want to do one more, but what do you think about Echo and the possibility of him being alive? And do you think he's alive?
I don't know. I'm thinking if he's alive, then he's kind of just being kept alive.
Yeah.
And they're just probing his ass in the brain, kind of like.
That'd be a dark twisted fate, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Think this show would do that?
I mean, it's the last season and things are changing. So, maybe. Well, I'm sure they're not going to show some bloody scene with all this shit stabbed into his head, but maybe it'd be like there. Not stabbed into his head, like I'm saying he's not going to have blood coming out of his head.
Okay.
Things might be there. Maybe just a head. Maybe he's a head with a body.
That would be even more tragic.
A torso.
I don't know if they've reached.
Like Metal Gear Solid level shit where they have.
Yeah, I don't think they've reached.
Where they have the biomort. I've been struggling for days to figure out, remember that word. I just now remember
biomort.
The biomort.
Biomort.
It's like they keep, in 4 when they think it's Big Boss's body and it's that head and torso inside that fucking vacuum packed thing.
Sludge.
That's the biomort.
Oh.
And it's just this thing where they keep him alive.
That was disgusting.
But it turns out it was just Solidus, I think, what was left of him. Because they used body parts from Solidus and Liquid to give Big Boss's body.
Yeah.
Because he was a biomort for a while.
Biomort.
I'm very sure that's what it's called, yeah.
Well, that's a good theory. I'm not going to say either way.
Because I can't remember the other thing that I'm thinking of, but it's a cyberpunk novel. There's a thing in there where they made this little program based on a guy's brain and personality. Yeah. And they kind of do the same thing with Johnny Silverhand, I guess, in Cyberpunk 20... whatever the fuck, with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. First version of the game was like universally panned because they rushed everything and it was incompleted, and then they did an update.
Yeah, I heard the update was badass.
Yeah, I heard it was fucking great.
Yeah. They kind of redeemed themselves.
Well, there's
But anyway, that thing, the Keanu Reeves character is in or whatever. I can't remember what the hell it's called, but they're kind of like a little program now.
Okay.
The person's personality and the brain or whoever their being.
Okay, I've seen those things used in science fiction too.
Yeah.
Because the idea, yeah, okay.
So it's either like that or the guys just they're keeping them alive and brain scans and shit.
Okay, I guess we'll see here. I think very soon.
I just don't see him being, oh yeah, I'll help you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll cooperate.
Like you're just in a room.
Yeah, just sitting around. Yeah, I don't know about that one. They're looking at battle plans of the droids.
Yeah.
With the Spider-Man.
I'm ashamed to say I can't exactly remember how he gets killed, but do you remember? Echo.
Wasn't he the one that got eaten by the slug thing?
Kept thinking he was at the Citadel. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like there outside the fucking walls, and that thing grabbed his ass.
Yeah.
And pulled him down in that tunnel.
Pretty sure, yeah. Ugh. Pretty bad way to go.
It's Kong, man.
Yeah, one of the worst deaths ever.
Yeah, fucking slug thing eating Andy Serkis.
I would just start punching myself in the throat.
Yeah, nasty way to go.
A nasty way to go. Anyways, guys, see you next week.